now available in paperback and e-readers, The Temptation of John Haynes. Give in to temptation and pick up this action-packed African-American paranormal romance. Get The Temptation of John Haynes in paperback and e-readers today. The more I hear about Marvel Studios' Fantastic Four movie, the more I see that it's not one I want to purchase a movie ticket for. Now, Marvel Studios is rumored to be making a Fantastic Four movie. However, what Kevin Feige is planning runs counter to everything Stan Lee and Jack Kirby created when they launched Marvel's first family back in the 1960s. Now, what Kevin Feige is planning is a matriarchal feminist version of the Fantastic Four, with Sue Richards, the Invisible Woman, as the lead character, and also possibly wants to feature a female Galactus and a female Silver Surfer. Now, this all runs counter to the foundations of the Fantastic Four, which were created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby to be Marvel's first patriarchal family. Now, Marvel's Fantastic Four has always been a patriarchal family, and the whole story of the Fantastic Four revolves mainly around Reed Richards, who is Mr. Fantastic. And he's Mr. Fantastic because he's the leader of the Fantastic Four, and he was the leader of the mission to launch the spacecraft, which was flying to find out about the cosmic rays that gave the Fantastic Four all their powers. So, the foundations of the Fantastic Four story all start with Reed, who was the one who led the mission, and his story also ties to supporting character Ben Grimm, who was the pilot of the ship that flew into the cosmic rays, and that is the core of the Fantastic Four story, and that's something that just can't be changed. I mean, when you think of the Fantastic Four, you always think about two characters, Reed Richards and Ben Grimm, who became the Thing. They are the two core characters of the story, and they are the characters who want something as related to the conflict. Reed basically wanted to go on the mission, and after they went on the mission, Ben was turned into the Thing, an orange rock-covered monster, and the mission of Reed after they came back to Earth was always to continue exploring science in an effort to try to find a cure for the condition that Ben wound up in as a result of him looking to lead that mission to go into space and learn more about the cosmic rays. That's always been the core of the Fantastic Four story, was Reed was always looking to do more and more research and explore different concepts because he always felt guilty about what happened to Ben, who was just looking to go out here and pilot this ship for a friend. So the whole story really is about the relationship between these two friends who met each other in college. Reed met Ben in college after Victor Von Doom didn't want to room with Reed due to his jealousy. So you could really say that the whole story is between Reed, Ben, and Victor Von Doom, who is the antagonist, because all three of those characters are core to the whole story of the Fantastic Four. However, what Marvel Studios wants us to do is go out here and walk away from the story of the Fantastic Four in an effort to say they want to make a story about Sue Richards leading the Fantastic Four, which runs counter to the original story of the source material. And the whole idea of Sue leading the story doesn't really work organically because, again, Reed is the one whose name is Mr. Fantastic. He's the brilliant scientist. He's the one who makes the inventions. He's the one who was the one who has all of the money and the resources. And yes, Sue's father had some money here and there, but it was Reed who was the one who leads the story. So going out here and saying you're making a Fantastic Four movie without making Reed Richards the lead character is a major mistake. because you can't have a Fantastic Four movie without Reed Richards, and you can't have a Fantastic Four movie that works well without Reed being the center of the story, because Reed's story is the one that drives the conflict as related to Ben Grimm and his condition. Reed's story is the one that drives the story between him and Victor Von Doom, who is the main antagonist of the Fantastic Four. And yes, they possibly want to do Coming of Galactus, but it wouldn't have had the impact that a Reed Von Doom story would have. And that's the main problem with this whole thing. They want to go out here and make it a story that says the Fantastic Four as the name, but the concept is coming about as lame as 2004's Catwoman, which starred Halle Berry, another movie designed to make a so-called strong woman that wound up flopping at the box office, the same way the Marvels wound up flopping at the box office earlier in November. Now, what they're trying to do with Fantastic Four is the same thing that they tried to do with the Marvels, trying to go out here and make a story about a so-called empowered woman. But that's not how you make a story about a strong woman, by tearing down one of Marvel's biggest patriarchal characters in Reed Richards. No, you cannot build a woman up by tearing a man down. What Marvel Studios needs to understand is if you want to do stories with heroines, you need to go out here and make the heroine strong by what makes a woman strong. And instead of trying to put a woman in a man's role, how about you just go out here and make a story featuring a compelling heroine? That's something that can be done, because I've seen it done with characters like Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Xena Warrior Princess, and I do it myself with characters like Isis and Esteem. I do it myself and with making heroines strong by going out here and letting them be the center of their own stories. And as I let them be the center of their own stories, they can go out here and show how they are strong, which is different than a man, because women are strong because they have strength of character. And in many cases, women want to see another woman standing strong with a man of character. And women would have loved to have seen a movie with Sue standing at the side of Reed. That's what women want to see. They want to see a Fantastic Four movie with Susan Storm standing at the side of Reed Richards, and seeing that she is having a romance with a man who showed compassion and care to a friend like Ben Grimm. This is the thing that could be the foundation of a romance, because one of the things that drove women to superhero movies like the 2002 Spider-Man and 2008's Iron Man was that hint of romance. That's the thing that got the ladies wanting to go see the superhero movies, was seeing handsome hunks with attractive women and seeing themselves being seen as the damsel in distress, being saved by the hero. That's what women want, but what people at Marvel Studios believe is that you want to see this masculine, strong woman like a Captain Marvel. But we clearly see from the box office of the Marvels, people are turned off by that kind of movie. And the Fantastic Four movie that they are possibly proposing really runs counter to everything I read in the comics regarding Marvel's First Family. Marvel's First Family is led by Mr. Fantastic and his wife, Sue Richards, and Ben Grimm is sort of like an uncle and a mentor to Johnny Storm, the hot-headed young boy. So they are like a family, and that's what people want to see. And what people want to see is something closer to The Incredibles than something that we have them trying to present as related to this feminist Fantastic Four and a female Silver Surfer, who is absolutely unnecessary, because if you read the comics during the John Byrne run, you would know that there already is a woman with cosmic power, and her name was Frankie Ray, who became the second Nova. And you don't need to make a female Silver Surfer when you've already got Frankie Ray, who is Nova, who has powers similar to the Silver Surfer, and would make for a great visual effect if you put a Golden Nova on screen and possibly start selling some more Marvel Legends as related to figures, because people have wanted that figure. She only came in a box with the Galactus set, but if you released this like that, people would be interested. Or if you did a story where Frankie Ray becomes Nova, that would be interesting. And a nice little twist. I mean, there are so many different things you could do with a Fantastic Four movie, but the one thing people don't want is a feminist Four. No, what people want is a Fantastic Four with Marvel's first family, and they want to see Marvel's first family treated with respect and not something that was designed to smash the patriarchy, because that's going to make all the male fans not want to see Fantastic Four. No, if you don't want a disaster like the Marvels, stay true to Marvel Comics and give us a Fantastic Four movie that's fantastic by staying true to the source material. Now, if you want to pick up my first full comic, John Haynes at Death's Door, you can find that comic on Lulu.com right now in paperback by clicking the link in the description box. And if you want to try my first digital comic, Esteem No Good Deed, you can get that comic on Kindle for 99 cents by clicking the link in the description box, and you can get a paperback version in the Esteem series book, Esteem Blast from the Past. And if you want to try some of my action-packed books featuring heroines like the Isis series, the Esteem series, the books of the Spinsterella trilogy, my vampire novel Eternal Night, or my other novels like The Thetas and A Recipe for Success, you can find all of those books on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find them at other online booksellers like Smashwords, the iBookstore, Google Play, and Barnes & Noble. And if you want to help me make the next full SJS Direct comic, which I want to do featuring Isis the Goddess next door, you can send a donation to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback and Kindle Unlimited, Esteem The Sands of Time. It's action and adventure in ancient Egypt in this terrific teen time travel romance. Get your copy of Esteem The Sands of Time at your favorite online bookseller today. Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.